Have you ever stopped to wonder just how international some of your favorite British icons really are? Britain is often viewed as a place of strong tradition, deep-rooted culture, and long-standing families. Yet behind some of the most quintessentially British names, there lies a hidden story of migration, identity, and reinvention. Today, we're revealing something many people don't realize. A surprising number of British public figures, from actors and comedians to politicians and scholars, actually have Polish roots. Yes, Poland, the Central European nation known for its resilience, rich history, and cultural influence, has quietly left its mark on the UK in more ways than most people recognize. And once you start uncovering these stories, you'll see that British identity has always been more complex, layered, and global than it appears on the surface. So grab a cup of tea or maybe a shot of Polish vodka, and let's dive into this fascinating look at famous Brits you didn't know came from Poland. And hey, if you love these deep dive stories into hidden history, consider joining our channel membership. It's a great way to support our work and unlock exclusive content and perks while helping us bring more stories like this to life. Let's begin with one of the most acclaimed actors of our time, Daniel Day-Lewis. Known for his transformative performances in films like Lincoln, There Will Be Blood, and My Left Foot, Day-Lewis is often celebrated as the epitome of British theatrical greatness. But here's what many fans don't know. Daniel Day-Lewis has Polish-Jewish heritage through his maternal grandfather, Sir Michael Balcon. Balcon was a key figure in British cinema history and played a massive role in developing Ealing Studios. His ancestors came from Eastern Europe, and it's widely recognized that the Balcon family's Jewish roots trace back to Poland, among other regions. This connection adds a deeper dimension to Day-Lewis's personal and artistic identity. He's not just a product of British theater. He's also part of a larger narrative of European migration, adaptation, and resilience, an identity that's mirrored in the emotional depth he brings to his characters. His story is a reminder that even the most English performers can carry a multinational legacy. Now let's talk about Ben Elton, the sharp-witted mind behind classic British comedy like Blackadder and The Young Ones. Next up is the incredibly talented Rachel Weisz, whose screen presence has captivated audiences in everything from The Mummy to The Constant Gardener and The Favourite. Born and raised in London, Rachel might seem the embodiment of British glamour, but her father, George Weisz, was a Hungarian-born inventor of Polish-Jewish descent. Her paternal family lived through the upheavals of Central Europe during the 20th century, and their experience of migration and reinvention found a home in the UK. Rachel's heritage undoubtedly influences the strength and complexity she brings to her roles. Her family's story is one of intellectualism, survival, and creativity, and that legacy is alive in her work. It's also a reminder that many families who arrived in the UK as refugees or immigrants contributed profoundly to Britain's cultural life. Rachel Weisz is just one of many examples. Moving to the political sphere, we find a name that might surprise you: Nick Clegg, former Deputy Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Democrats. Clegg's polished accent and background as a public school-educated politician suggest a classic British upbringing. But if you look closer, you'll find a rich and diverse family background. Clegg's maternal grandmother, Kira von Engelhardt, was of Russian and Central European descent, and the family tree includes Polish, German, and Baltic roots. Though not exclusively Polish, his ancestry shows just how interconnected European identities really are, especially in aristocratic and intellectual families that moved across borders during turbulent times. Clegg speaks several languages fluently, and his internationalist outlook was deeply shaped by his family history. Let's step into academia with Zbigniew Pełczyński, a name not known to everyone but one that played a significant role in British education and politics. Born in Poland in 1925, Pełczyński fought in the Warsaw Uprising against Nazi occupation before fleeing to Britain. He went on to study at Oxford and eventually became a lecturer in political philosophy. His influence was quietly monumental. He taught some of the world's most important leaders, including Bill Clinton and Viktor Orban. He also worked to establish programs that brought Polish and Eastern European students to study in the UK after the fall of communism. Pełczyński's journey from war-torn Poland to the heart of British academia is a perfect example of how Polish immigrants enriched the intellectual life of Britain. Then there's Józef Retinger, another Polish-born figure who left a significant mark on British and European history. Born in Krakow in 1888, Retinger was a political advisor, writer, and founding figure in several major post-war initiatives. He became a British citizen and advised the Polish government in exile during World War II. He later helped create the Bilderberg Group, an annual private conference of influential leaders from Europe and North America designed to foster dialogue and cooperation. Though Retinger stayed largely behind the scenes, his work helped shape modern Europe. His career proves that Polish émigrés in Britain weren't just survivors, they were visionaries, shaping policy, philosophy, and international relations. On a more familiar level for UK TV viewers, there's Kazia Pelka, a talented actress known for her roles in Brookside, Coronation Street, Heartbeat, and Doctors. Born in West Yorkshire, Kazia is the daughter of a Polish engineer father and an Irish actress mother. Her upbringing was filled with cultural richness from both sides, and her Polish roots played a key role in shaping her identity as an artist. She's a great example of how Polish immigrants and their children became a visible and relatable part of British daily life, not just in elite circles, but in popular entertainment, storytelling, and representation on screen. Finally, there's Tamara Czartoryska, a lesser-known name, but with an illustrious background. Tamara is the daughter of Prince Adam Czartoryska, a member of one of Poland's most prominent noble families. Though she was born in London, her roots are steeped in centuries of Polish aristocratic history. The Czartoryski family was heavily involved in Polish politics, arts, and national independence movements throughout the 18th and 19th centuries. Tamara herself became a TV personality in the UK and Spain. But her heritage reminds us that nobility and cultural prestige also traveled from Poland to Britain. It's another example of how identities can be both deeply local and remarkably global. These stories show us just how misleading appearances can be. Behind the British accents, familiar faces, and celebrated achievements are family journeys marked by war, exile, perseverance, and hope. Poland and the UK have long been connected, not just by migration or political alliances, but by the people themselves, people who carried their language, customs, and memories across borders and planted them into British soil, enriching it in the process. So the next time you hear a British name or see a British face in the media, consider the roots they might have, because in today's global world, being British often means being part of something much bigger. If you've enjoyed this video and want to help us keep telling powerful, untold stories from around the world, please consider joining our channel membership. It's a small gesture that makes a big difference. Members get exclusive videos, early access, and a closer connection to the content we create. Plus, it helps us dig even deeper into stories that deserve to be heard. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.